And thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock. We want to begin with a high-stakes budget dictating where your tax dollars are going. The spending plan impacts everything from road repairs to police staffing. Tonight, our Alex Almanza is digging into this 2026 proposal before the mayor officially unveils it on Monday.
It's a first look at Mayor Joe Hogshead's 2026 city budget. According to new documents, public safety would again take the largest share, more than $698 million, up more than 6% from last year. Public Works seeing $257 million, a more than 4% increase. The city says the budget includes no tax increases and no significant cuts to programming or services. Hogshead's office says the plan was especially difficult to craft, citing new financial pressures.
It has been tough this year with the cuts that have been made, but I think what will impress them is how vibrant and vital income tax, local option income tax is to having a fully funded, balanced budget.
Hogshead says that stability is possible because of local income tax revenue, which he calls vital to keeping the books balanced. Across the aisle, Republicans say the real work starts Monday, going line by line to see if the plan matches community priorities.
I think it's more of spending is going to have to stay stagnant from 25 to 26.
For Hart, one priority is boosting road repair, specifically strip patching, from the current $6.5 million countywide.
We better see a higher dollar amount for strip patching going into the 26 budget, because that is something that everybody talks about and we know it's effective.
So what's next? A month of committee meetings, all open to the public, where residents can let their voice be heard on how their tax dollars are spent.
I challenge the public. I challenge 500 people to email me, and it would be a lot of work for me, but I would love to see that much input on the city-county budget.
Once the proposal makes it through the committees, a final vote is expected this fall. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
Monday also marks the deadline to dismantle a homeless encampment that's in Fountain Square. We've been following this growing camp along Leonard Street for weeks now. Reverend David Green is part of the Mayor's Leadership Council on Homelessness. He's been telling us that city leaders should have waited to shut down the camp until the program reached out directly to the people living in it. But neighbors have been telling us they've been dealing with rocks thrown at homes and people being chased with sticks. Rob?
Well, it's been a warm day. Temperatures, though, now have cooled down nicely. We really had a very quiet evening. We didn't really have much showing up on radar. Overall, looking pretty good. Let's start with the numbers here, with temperatures now down all into the 70s. We have certainly cooled down, but don't expect these numbers to drop much more than this. Probably going to end up with temperatures right around 70 degrees. Wind's starting to go down to calm. By the way, a little bit of patchy fog couldn't be ruled out. We've seen that in a few locations over the past couple of nights, especially with clear skies and temperatures right around 70. For tomorrow, take today and do it all over again. Lots of sunshine, temperatures very close to 90 by the afternoon. Maybe just a few clouds developing with those high temperatures near 90. What will we see for heat index values? I'll talk about that. We'll also talk about rain chances coming up.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit, Rob. Thanks. Right now, Hoosiers are getting some help applying for assistance for storm relief efforts. This week, teams from the Indiana Department of Homeland Security and FEMA met with people in Vandenberg, Warwick, Perry, and Crawford counties. All of this is the first step in getting qualified Hoosiers connected to federal funding. Those areas dealt with tornadoes and flooding earlier this year. Tonight, a person is dead after a two-car crash on the east side of Indianapolis. All of this unfolding around 6:30 tonight along 10th Street between Post and Midhofer. Two others were injured in this wreck. Right now, we're working to learn what led to that crash. And a heads up if you're driving here in downtown Indianapolis, starting Monday, big changes for two busy stretches of road. New York Street is transitioning from a one-way road to a two-way road with a median separating drivers and cyclists. This is a similar story along Michigan Street between Highland Avenue and East Pleasant Run Parkway. That will begin Tuesday. City leaders hope this will improve safety for everyone using the roads, including Indigo riders.
Every bus ride begins and ends either on foot or by bike, and this means our riders will no longer have to duck and dodge speeding cars to access their bus stop on their way to work, school, or any other appointment. We know this project is going to calm traffic, and slower traffic translates to safety for pedestrians and cyclists.
City leaders gathered for this ribbon cutting today. The nearly $17 million project took a year and a half of work. Well, that push for improved safety on Indy roads is one echoed tonight for people living near Mass Ave.
Seen quite a few incidents on the corner.
Yeah, my car's been hit 3 times just sitting still on the street.
People living in the Chatham Arch neighborhood came up with their own solution to get drivers to slow down. This is a tactical urban project at 10th and Park. The Hoosiers behind it hope the bright colors and reflective posts prevent speeding and make it easier for drivers to see pedestrians.
The high speed is the biggest issue that we see out here. So, and then the frustration builds as things start to get congested, and then it gets worse.
Organizers tell us this will remain up until October. Tomorrow they plan to put another one just 1 block away. Leaders at Indy Pedestrian Safety Crisis, a group that tracks incidents involving pedestrian and cyclists, say they have counted more than 400 this year. A booming Westfield population has city leaders tonight embarking on a special census. Back in 2020, the U.S. Census said Westfield had about 47,000 residents. That ranked Westfield the 6th fastest growing city in the entire country. Mayor Scott Willis told us he thinks the city of Westfield has added at least 15,000 people since then. But he says that growth has created a gap in funding.
I think everybody in Westfield has gotten frustrated over the years about infrastructure, keeping up with all the growth, public safety, making sure we have fire stations in the right places so we can respond quickly to emergencies. All this is driven around tax revenue.
Westfield residents will need to fill out the census by the 2nd week of September. The city expects to have those results sometime around the start of 2026. Here's a look at the other stories making headlines right now. Tonight, investigators confirm a gas leak caused a house explosion in southern Indiana. The blast injured 5 people. Tonight, we're told they are still in the hospital. That explosion happened on July 31st. Tonight, facilities around Lake Monroe are reopening after high water levels shut them down. State officials say the beaches and ramps that were closed down will be available this weekend. Some sites will stay closed until those water levels drop a little bit more. You can find updates on the lake's social media pages. You can now get Indiana's newest license plate, the blackout plate for your car. They cost $45 on top of your regular registration fee. You can also personalize them for another $45. An expansion at the Purdue University Airport tonight honors famed pilot Amelia Earhart. The university named a terminal after Amelia Earhart, who worked at Purdue for 2 years leading up to her disappearance. That facility has a waiting room, baggage claim, and security checkpoints. In Noblesville, city leaders cut the ribbon on the arena at Innovation Mile. This is the home of the Pacers G League team, the Boom. Plus, it will host concerts and other events. Remember, you can find all of our latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app.